All right, today I'm going to go quickly through the Clam PowerPoint here for your Clam dissection. So normally when you get a clam in class, you'll see that there's a wooden peg down here. And the purpose for that wooden peg is to keep it open. Some quick orientation here. So this is the dorsal side, it's the hinge side, and I'll show you another picture of the dorsal side. This is the ventral side right here. The anterior side's closest to the umbro, and the posterior is the distance further away from that umbro, and this is the umbro right up here. Okay, so it's the oldest section of the shell. You can see that there are rings here, but the rings don't indicate age at all, so just keep that in mind. And then I just said the wood here is to give you a little gap so you can cut the abductor muscles and try to pry it open with a screwdriver. Okay, so looking at the dorsal view, this is what I mean by dorso, okay, and those two parts are the umbro. And then you can kind of see the hinge that holds the two shells together. These guys are also known as bivalves. Okay, so you would be given scalpels and screwdrivers, and you'd try to cut away for safety precautions. It's a really, really thick muscle that you have to cut through, and there's a lot of resistance. But you can kind of see that you have to cut through two abductor muscles, one on each side, here and here. Now then you would open it up, and the mantle is the outer covering that protects the organism, and a lot of times it will tear. Okay. So some structures that you should know. The adductor muscles. When it's relaxed, the clam opens. When it's contracted, it's closed. We have our mantle. Produces the shell, protective, lubricated surfaces, etc. Now on the inside of one side of the shell, see these bands right here, paddle line. It's where the mantle attaches to it. And then this is the mother of pearl right here. So, yeah. Okay, moving into the interior part, we have the labial palps. You get two on each side, and a lot of times this is where it kind of filter feeds, sorts food, moves it towards the mouth. We have our muscular foot down here, so when a clam wants to bury itself, it will open its shell a little bit, and then the foot will extend out and, push it in one direction or another. And then I just said the mantle that produces the shell on the outside covering. Okay, now these two feathery structures right here are called gills, and this is how it respires. It removes oxygen from the water. So when you make this cut here, you actually have to remove some structures to actually get to some more structures. A lot of times you will be asked to remove the gills, and you can kind of see here that they're feathery, and then you're actually going to make an incision in the foot to see the inside of that where the intestines are. So this is the visceral mass, where you're going to find your digestive glands, intestines, and gonads, and you're actually going to make an incision or a cut there. So here's my visceral mass, here's the foot, and we're going to make a cut right about here to look on the inside of it. So you'd remove the gills and the outer layer of the visceral mass. And then you're going to make a circular shape cut right here to see the intestines. So you can kind of see we have some markings where the gills and mantle and labial palps were removed. Here's that circular cut. Here's my foot, visceral mass. And now I'm going to talk about some of the structures that are located right here. So here's the visceral mass. We're going to move the outer layer. Now over on the opposite side, kind of this greenish color. I know it doesn't look green in this picture. That's the digestive glands. And then these, in between these slits right here, okay, so in between, so right here and here and here are your gonads for the reproductive function. And the slits themselves are actually the intestines that wind through the visceral mass. Okay, so now we're going to remove a membrane and, in this area right here and get to see the heart. So when you do that, you'll see the heart is right here. Another close-up picture of the heart. Just to reiterate here, gills, mantle, outer cover, and visceral. This is where we removed all of that. And then the heart. Okay. So that's it.